Are you a busy parent? Do you feel like you're being pulled in multiple directions all at once? Are you exhausted and overwhelmed? Meet my mom. Her name is Tanikella. She's a pediatrician, expert in mind-body medicine, and a life coach. She can help you break free from guilt and overwhelm so that you can enjoy the life that you've worked so hard to create. She can also teach you how to support your family in a more holistic way.
Hello and welcome to episode 23. Today we're going to talk about back to school time, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But first, I just want to welcome everyone back. We took a little break for the summer, but we are now back into the swing of things. I have so much to catch you up on. It has been a busy summer. In our household, we've been juggling summer camps for the kids and personal projects for the adults. I personally have been doing a lot more presentations as of late. Shout out to Children's Specialized Hospital at Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health, Shalley Insurance Agency, the Williamsport Little League, Restec, and most recently, the Lycoming County School District. We have been having amazing conversations about how we can turn the dial down on our stress levels and live fuller lives. I've also been working on creating a new curriculum for the Pediatric Integrative Medicine course at the Academy of Integrative Health and Medicine, where I graduated from fellowship. So in many ways, it feels like I've come full circle from student to teacher. This 8-week course will launch this fall, and it's been really interesting for me to observe myself as I was creating this curriculum, noticing the emotions of joy at the prospect of teaching students this new way of practicing medicine, which has totally changed the way I see the world and my role in it. There, of course, have also been emotions of nervousness, even a little imposter syndrome at times, and the recognition that these feelings of nervousness can be embraced, that they're just little messages to me about how I want to do right by my students and, in turn, their patients. And so I've been taking those feelings and transforming them into stepping stones for myself as I complete the course curriculum. But let's transition here, because this fall doesn't just mark the beginning of the school year for me. It's the beginning of the school year for you too, and your kids. And what comes to mind for me is that hilarious Staples commercial from years ago, where the parents are prancing through the store buying school supplies while the kids are sadly following. If you've never watched it, I'll include the link in my show notes. It's hilarious because in the commercial, the background music is, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." And no joke, every time I go school shopping for my kids, that is the song that plays on repeat in my head. So yes, it's that time again, the first day of school. Many of us proud parents are excited while our children experience the range of emotions, right? Some of them are excited also, but some of them are a little nervous and some of them are waffling in between several emotions. And that in turn can make some of us parents feel a little uneasy. I recently did a segment with WNEP in Pennsylvania regarding how we can reduce school-related distress and anxiety for our kids. I've put the link in our show notes. It was a brief segment, so I thought it might be good to talk about this with a little bit more depth here. Parents tend to drive the ship of their household, and that means that we set the tone for everyone in the house. So when we ourselves are experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety, you had better believe that our kids will pick up on it. And in some families, it can become a little contagious. So this week, I wanted to offer a few tips so that the transition to the new academic year could go a little bit more smoothly. As we're gearing up for the new school year, be sure to keep your kids in the loop and maybe even have them be involved in some of the school preparation. Consider walking them through what their first day of school might look like. This is called mental rehearsal. Talk to them about their new teacher. Tell them about what the flow of their day might look like. Even helping them to rehearse how they will greet their teachers and classmates may help to ease some of the jitters that they may be experiencing. I honestly think that the biggest fear is the fear of the unknown. So if we take even some of the unknowns out of the equation, it'll allow them to have a little bit more mental space to actually relax and enjoy the first day of school. Next, I want to encourage you to make it a goal to keep the lines of communication open. Ask them how their day went. And in fact, don't just limit this to the first day of school. Ask them every day. This not only shows your child that you're invested in what they're doing and how they're doing, but allows for rapport and trust to build over time. And that translates to having stronger bonds. It also means that your child will feel safe coming to you when they have a problem because they know you'll listen and provide them with support. When bad things happen, I really want you to make it a goal to be an active listener. When I talk about active listening, I mean listening without becoming immediately emotionally reactive or thinking about what you're going to say next. When you notice yourself doing these things, take a deep breath and recenter on what your child is telling you. Stay curious and ask questions when you need clarification. If they're identifying a problem, ask them what they think they should do to solve the problem. If you think you have a more sound plan, first ask them if they would be interested in hearing your idea. Let it be a conversation where they feel like they have a choice on how to proceed. These conversations may take time, but I promise you that it's these interactions that help you to raise a child that is thoughtful about how they deal with their problems. It means that they will learn over time how to deal with their problems more effectively and may even learn how to prevent similar problems in the future. What if they're going through some big emotions? As parents, I think it's really important not to just brush them under the rug, even if that's what was done to us as we were growing up. During this period of time where access to mental health services has been increasingly difficult to obtain, I think it's imperative that setting the foundation for good mental health start at home. We are, after all, our child's first teacher. When our kids tell us about their problems and start sharing big emotions, many of them are seeking validation for some of the pain or discomfort that they're feeling. The most harmful thing we can do is to ignore it. If we ignore or disregard their big emotions, we are sending them a message that what they're experiencing is not important enough to deserve our attention. Well, most parents don't intentionally try to send that messaging. In fact, the opposite is true. Many parents believe that saying things like, "Oh, it's all right, you're going to get over it," or "toughen up, you'll be fine," may actually help them to be more resilient. Unfortunately, comments like this don't usually help our kids in a constructive way. I'm not suggesting that you serve them a solution on a silver platter every single time. I'm also not suggesting that you coddle them. In fact, the contrary is true. All I'm asking is that you engage and listen. Sometimes just listening can be incredibly therapeutic, and often kids will end up finding comfort. And if they're having trouble coping with their emotions, we can offer some healthy tools and solutions to help them move forward. This is how we build resilience. If you as a parent are having difficulty though, and feel that your child's needs are beyond what you can help them with, don't hesitate to reach out to your child's primary care provider or psychologist to connect them to the level of help they need. On that note, I hope that all of you have an amazing, stupendous, bright, and wonderful start to the new school year. Send me your questions, your comments, and your ideas for future podcast topics.
Hey, if you like what you're hearing, give this podcast a 5-star rating and share it with your friends and family. If you want to learn more about my mom and what she does, visit her at IamWellMD.com and subscribe to her email list. If you leave her a comment, you might just get a shout out in her next podcast episode. If you'd like coaching or support, she has programs available for you and your whole family. My mom is a great pediatrician and a great person, and I hope you like her podcast episodes. Have a great day. Goodbye.